Hello, and welcome back to the channel and to some Star Trek Online. Um, eh, I've played a little bit of Star Trek Online in my time. It's been a long time since I've actually played it. Here recently, me and my nephew have been kind of playing it and having fun. And I noticed that they had Dominion. It's a Jem'Luc recruitment event right now. So I thought, I don't know. I don't know how well this is going to do for YouTube. But sometimes I just try different things, and when I'm playing at the time, I'm playing stuff for me to have fun, and hopefully take you guys along with me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna go Dominion. So we can do the Gamma Recruit event here. We're gonna go with the Jem'Luc Vanguard because I have it open. I might as well do it. We're gonna do that. Normally, I would ask, what we want people to do. Most likely, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this guy in like the assault ship or the strike ship or something like that. So usually, I personally like if you're going to go carrier, cruiser, stuff like that. I usually put a tactical in there, and if I'm going to put something into an assault ship or something that's going to be DPS ship, um, I actually go with like a an engineer, if that makes sense. Normally, just and the reason it does that is because the ship the way the game works, it helps to kind of balance it out a little bit, I think. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go Dominion Engineering Officer, and then I'm gonna put him in a bug ship. So here we can go through our presets. Get a spiky boy here. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on this. A lot of their stuff doesn't really do. It's not. It's the Jem'Luc. They're not. They're not known for their customization and their cool looks. So we're gonna go skin color. I like the gray mostly because it gives them a little bit of a purple look. The eyes, we'll leave the eyes with the white, and we're gonna go here. We're gonna go with like that. No, I want something a little bit lighter, just so it makes people wonder what he's up to. And then like the hair color, we'll go kind of a purplish color down here. Advanced, you can kind of go in here and you can really go through and do a bunch of gem and R. Like, there's a lot of customization to this game. If you've never played this game before and you think like, oh, I want to have a game where I can really customize my character, like you can really customize your character, this is a game for you. So the body, you can go in, you can change all this stuff, right? My uniform, I can go through, I can change all my uniforms too. So I can go for a tight or loose, like, you know, the different shirts there. We can go, basically, there's a bunch of different shirts, and as you get into the game, there is actually a lot of stuff you can do, and even so much as changing the colors of your shirts. So, like, if you want it to, I could give it more of a purple look, and it's something I'll probably dork with this later. I just don't want to spend the entire first episode messing with this. So we're gonna you got to give the character a name. So the captain's name. Uh, oh no, my caps lock was on. I saw this. I was looking for a cool name for Jim Hadar, and I saw this, and I was like, "This is the best name ever." I can't even tell you where I found it. I just did a Google search for Jim Hadar names, and this one came up. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's my dude right there. That's 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 the guy I'm starting with, Jem'Luc Hadar." So I'm going to start through the very beginning of this. What I'll do is we'll see if we can kind of get through the beginning of this. Well, let them talk.
use any means necessary to defeat this enemy. Always remember, victory is life.
So obviously, if you've watched a little bit of Deep Space Nine and stuff like that, some of this stuff will make more sense than others. Now the trick with starting at Jem'Luc also is we start at level 60. So that in and of itself is a uh-oh. It's like you knew it was going to happen. You could sense it.
Several containment cells at this penal installation have been breached. A number of prisoners are attempting to escape. Their likely destination is the shuttle facility and landing area.
Oh, we can't allow that to happen. So I will say, if you've never played Star Trek Online before, Jem'Luc probably isn't the way you want to start. Jem'Luc, they start at level 60. You start with a bunch of crazy stuff. We're gonna throw some bots out. We're gonna, we can throw landmines down. We have like combat, systems and crazy stuff, and we start with a good amount of weapons and armor and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say this is a great way to start, because it's kind of like going into World of Warcraft and deciding to make your very first character a Death Knight. It's not going to end well. And these guys are kind of the Death Knights. Like they're genetically modified and engineered to kind of do what they do. But it's a gamer event right now, so. And I do have a bunch of really cheaty stuff that I can do. Drop burst turret. And then, hey, can you guys hold this for me? Yeah? No? You're not? Okay, cool. So, these are a lot of late game things, and you basically start at level 60 out of 65 with most of your gear, most of your stuff, all of your, a good starting of a lot of things. Activate our shroud. Our shroud basically allows us to basically like a personal cloaking device. And now the other side too is depending on what you want to do, they've opened a lot of stuff. So this game, just to get it right out there, right? The game's free to play. If you want to play the game and you don't want to put any money into it, can you play it? Yeah. Will you be happy? Probably not. The game is definitely set to make you want to spend a couple of dollars at it. What I would recommend, honestly, is if you are going to really play the game, I would start the game. Just check it out. See if you like it. You can play up to about level 30 or 40, and really not have to spend any money, and get away with just kind of limping along. And you can get up to about level 40 and not really be worried about it. The problem is once you hit level 40, they stop giving you free ships, because they give you a ship every level, every 10 levels, right? So at, basically you start with a ship, level 10 you get one, level 20, level 30 you get one. Well, at level 40 you don't get one. You can buy a ship that you can use out of the exchange. End program.
Victory is life.
Victory is life. We're on the holodeck.
Your leadership skills are sound. I am Eco Ixdon, and I would be honored to follow you in battle. I offer my service to your unit.
I accept. So you can,
I see now why the honored elder chose you for this duty. I am Rem Taral. It would be good to serve under your command. I offer my services to you and your unit.
A
Rex.
well-executed operation. You showed initiative and inspired others to follow your lead and achieve success. Your promotion to first is all but assured. All that remains is confirmation from the Vorta commander. I will take you to him now. Follow me.
So, and what I'm talking about here, and we'll just get into it. We'll just rip the Band-Aid off. This is the C store, right? You buy stuff within in here, and when you get down here to like ships and stuff, there's some really, really powerful ships in here. And can you play the entire game without buying anything in there?
To the bridge.
Yeah.
You are to speak to the Vorta known as Wayun. He awaits you there.
Well, let me rephrase that.
And a founder.
You're going to end up buying something out of there.
Appreciate the need to report to the leader as soon as possible. He is not the only one evaluating you.
It's just a question of whether you spend your time in the game getting dilithium, trading dilithium, and then using the dilithium to buy stuff, right? And buy a key to take your chances at opening something, or trying to find something that you can get, right? So really, ultimately, it's a question of, the problem is if you spend all your time collecting dilithium, changing it into Zen, and then using the Zen to buy the stuff in the C store to get a good ship, it's going to take you, I think I figured out one time, it would be like almost like a year or something of playing every single day, or something ridiculous. I don't quote me on that number. It's been a really long time since I've done the math. It's going to take you a long time. What I would recommend, let me go ahead and talk to the Vorta command.
We need to reach the Bejor system as soon as possible.
Of course, Founder. We'll be ready for transit within the hour. Welcome. Honored Elder Dukan Rex speaks quite highly of you. And after evaluating your latest performance, I can
Hadar,
praise and
welcome,
earned.
Honor Elder Dukan Rex.
To inform you that the founders have chosen to bestow the rank of first upon you. May you continue to serve them well. I would
They shall.
no less. One more thing. The founders, in their wisdom, have also granted you the right to report directly to them when necessary. To speak to your gods is quite an honor. Unexpected, perhaps, but we live in most unusual times. The founders will contact you when they have need of your skills. In the meantime, I suggest you prepare yourself, your unit, and your ship for service. Speak with my adjutant, Loris 4. She'll help you prepare for the challenges ahead in the Alpha Quadrant. Remember, victory is life.
Victory's life. All right, so let me finish my thought here real quick. All right, so by the time you go in here, you go down here to a ship, you buy a ship, right? You just find like Jem'Luc, right? And we're like, okay. And the reason these are grayed out, right, is either I already own them. Oh no, they should. Oh no. I don't know. Why are those grayed out? I think I already own them. But you'll see these here, so that's not a good one. So let's go look at the Romulan faction, right? So here's a bunch of them. Yeah, I should be able to buy any of those. Oh no, I can't, because I'm not attached to a faction right now, is what it is. So I'm too early in the game to try to buy one, right? But you're looking at these. They're basically $24 a piece, right? If you go down to, actually, that is useless. It did not show you. Probably don't want to show you that anyway. But you basically click on that, and the Zen's basically, it's basically, this is like $24. You can get a little bit plus or minus, but it's about $24, right? Well, they set it up so that this ship is $24, but if I go to a ship bundle, that here I can get 3 ships, right? And that's only, well, that was $96. That's a different. This one's like 18. That one doesn't count. We wanted like this one here. So this one's like $48, right? So you get 3 ships. So basically you buy 2, get 1 free. But you have to kind of want all 3 of them in the bundle. It's a bunch of stuff. It's really in depth, right? So you could work for the dilithium to get all that stuff, and it's hard. You got to figure it out. It's a bunch of stuff. It's a mess, right? Well, then the problem is then you go up here to the on sale portion, and you have like these guys here. In order to get a T6 ship completely maxed out, to get all the console slots you can, you got to buy a set of these things. And then you need to get more slots. Then you need more dry docks. Then you need to get more, if you want to get, if you want to be able to play a Klingon in the Federation as your captain, you need to buy this. And a bunch of this stuff is purchased. I've had this game for a very, very long time. I am a lifetime subscription. They give me $5 a month to buy stuff in here. So I have a bunch of useless stuff. They give stuff away for free all the time. Like there's a bunch of this stuff I already have, right? But like if you want to go down here, and then there's like, here's the Klingon Miracle Worker, right? If you want to have a board crew, or if you want to have the Jem'Luc bridge officers, like you have to buy them. If you want to buy a Borg, you have to buy them. Like, and a lot of the stuff, you can go down a rabbit hole. This game makes it very easy to spend money on it. What I would recommend is if you play the game and you've never played it before.
You may also wish to acquire a different vessel or switch the ship you command. Each ship requires certain bridge officers to function efficiently. Be certain you have the officers you need before heading out.
All right, easy enough.
Report to Wayun when you are ready to depart. He will
Understood.
exit the way you came.
All right, so what they want us to do now is they want us to come back out of here. We're going to run over here. And we have a little mini map up here. If we scroll here a little bit, we can see a little bit better what we're doing. So here we have, that's the ship manager. So if I go over here and talk to this guy, so I can acquire ships, right? Browse rank ships that are approved for me, right? So this is the Jem'Luc escort, right? So this is this is the one that the Jem'Luc start with. And if you look, it's got 4 forward weapons, 3 aft weapons. It's got shield modifiers 1, can equip dual weapons, right? It's a pretty good ship. And then I have like these other ships, and basically what I'll end up wanting to do is I want to take this guy, I think. And there's a reason I'm going to pick this guy up. So there's a bunch of stuff here that really can get into it. But I'm going to buy the ship. It's free for me because I've already purchased it. And that is a good thing about buying a ship. Now, you need to figure out what you want to do and buy. If you're going to buy a ship, make sure that it's open to all the characters on your account if you buy a ship through the Zen store. So you can buy one ship, and as long as you do some research and pick one that you really are happy with, you can kind of use that for multiple characters and really get away with murder. So this is going to cost me 1,000 dilithium to basically buy another one. Now what I can do is I can go over here and talk to this guy. And if I wanted to, let me go here to this guy. Let me use this. All right, that's good. Okay. So now if I do this, I go in here and talk to him again. Now here's my other ship, right? So this has a console universal Polaron, right? I think I may be able to put that on my other ship. So what I really did that for is I'm going to grab that guy. I'm going to grab this guy. And I'm going to grab this guy off of this. And then I'm going to go back to the ship that they gave me. This thing already come with 2 Mark 12. So these do 273. These only do... Oh, these do 317. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these guys on here like this. So these little numbers on the side, so these are Mark 12. These are infinite, so they level with me as I level. And then this is a omnidirectional Polaron beam in the back. And then this is a turret. So I'm going to take this turret and throw that on there also. This guy here, this is a universal console. I'd have to figure out which one I want to replace. Like, I don't want to replace any of these because these are all damage. Like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. We'll just leave it for now. And we do have an experimental weapon on here too. Hyper excited ion stream projector, right? So we basically have our ship now, and we're good. The game is so in depth, and I'm really burning through a lot of this stuff really fast. If y'all want a little bit more involved, a little bit more in depth, let me know. But my goal is, you can help me, is I'm going to get to the pledge of loyalties to the founders from now until death.
Receive this reward from the founders. May it keep you strong.
How they keep us in line with drugs. If
We're detecting a number of derelict vessels ahead on sensors. It looks like they ran afoul of some Idran swarmers.
I agree, of course. First, I'd like you to move.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to put all of our power into our weapons. Looks like we got some swarmers up here. We got a bunch of buttons down here. There is a bunch of garbage down here. There's things like here, and you can engineering team, medium hull hill, right? You can have, all kinds of crazy stuff. I have ones for myself where I can, miracle worker repair my ship. And the reason I went with an engineer is because this thing is going to do stupid amounts of damage. It just rips through things. This is a very high level ship. And it's made to destroy things. It's a Jem'Luc bug ship. It is meant to destroy. It is a weapon of war. And with me having an engineer with miracle worker and stuff like that, then I can get away with doing a lot of stuff where things that normally this ship wouldn't be able to make it out of, this ship will make it out of it because I'm able to repair my ship. I can bring my hull back up. I can do a lot of points to kind of do things. Nidian in version 3 basically target self-resistance subsystems, right? Basically it drops my power, but it gives me a really high resistance rating for a while. This allows me to rotate my shield frequency. Basically it gives me extra shields. Now, these guys are going to start swarming around me. Time to get some speed. We'll do this thing. We'll do some spinning around. So this thing is highly maneuverable, and it's about using its abilities the best that you can for what it's doing, right? Pick up a little item there. So we've slowed back down a little bit. Pick up a lockbox. Lockboxes, just like every other game, you get a lockbox. You go buy a key, you can open it. Keys are like $1.25 a piece or something. I think when they're on sale, they're like $1.25. And they go on sale all the time. But the odds of pulling a ship out of them are like 1 in 200. So if you're planning to use, spend the money to buy a ship, and basically use that as your T6 ship, not the best way to go. It's a 1 in 200 chance to do it. And the other side too is if you pull a box out of there, or pull a ship out of a lockbox, it only gives you 1. It's for the character that activates it. That's it. That's the only person that can use it. So it's not optimal. There's a bunch of angry bees right here. All right, do this. The only reason I would open lockboxes is if you were just throwing money in here, you have extra money laying around, and you bought some keys. If there's a specific ship you want, like I'll burn the Zen, and I'll buy keys and I'll open ships. I've been opening Borg lockboxes for a long time because I've been trying to get a Borg ship. Because I like the Borg. And with a lifetime subscription, I can make a liberated Borg character. So That being said, if you see people running around with liberated Borgs on them, or as a liberated Borg, they're lifetime members. You can still buy that. I think the last time I checked, it's like $300. And you basically get lifetime membership, and then you can get basically you can make a liberated Borg. And they're fairly strong. Don't get me wrong. Like the game, I won't say the game is pay to win, but it's definitely pay for advantage. You definitely you get your money out of you can get your money out of spending dollars in here. You definitely feel like you've gotten your money out of it. Even so much so that like the some of the upgrades and stuff that you can do, add extra console slots to your ship. Like seriously, I can go spend right now $16 and add 2 universal console slots to my ship. That's huge advantage. So, like I have, let's see, is this a weapons capacitor? I should have had a weapon down here somewhere. Give her all she's got. Turn max, healing. Right. There should have been somewhere down in here a special weapon. Or I may just be firing it. But, like, I have one that you can open from a lockbox that gives me this, like, a Borg freaking turret that like casts a cutting beam out of it, which is incredibly powerful. So being able to add extra spots to your ship to be able to put stuff like that on there, really helpful. And they're universal, so you can put any console you want in it. So if you have some weird console you're trying to do for a build, you can do that. If you just were like, oh, I just want more damage, you can just put more damage in it. It extremely broken. But as you can tell, the bug ships are quite powerful. They are a fun little machine. So the goal for me today is I'm going to do my best to try and get to the part where I can choose either Fed or Klingon side. If you have a preferred side you would like me to go to, just do me a favor, leave me a comment on there. Just Fed or Klingon. That's all you need down there. So if you don't know, there's really only 2 sides in the game. There's the Federation side and there's the Klingon side. There's benefits and detractors to both. I usually go to Fed because it's a little bit more fleshed out. Originally, Fed was kind of the PvE side and the Klingons were more the PvP side. Now they're starting to flesh the Klingons out a little bit more. There are more story missions over there, stuff like that. But the whole goal is to try to...
As of this moment, we are all dead. We go into battle to reclaim our lives. This we do gladly, for we are Jem'Hadar. Remember, victory is life.
So it's really just a question of, at this point, which side you like more. For the most part, you can still kind of group up and still play with your friends and stuff like that. So the only problem is depending on it limits your missions, right? So if you make a Jem'Hadar and you join the Federation side, you get one set of missions. If you're on the Klingon side, you get another set of missions. And depending on how you started your account, being whether it's a TOS, a Discovery, a Jem'Hadar, a Romulan, that's a lot of talking. So we're trying to get into a fight here, buddy. You're just rambling on. Come on, Odo. So depending on how you start your character, gives you your starting missions and kind of the missions you're going to have in the game. So if you're trying to play with a friend, I would recommend you to kind of choosing the same sort of path. Now, one of you can be an engineer, the other can be a science officer, the other one can be a tactical officer. That part doesn't really matter so much. And honestly, I would recommend that if you're going to play with a group of people, that try to do at least one of each. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times when you're on missions, there'll be special actions that each can take that the other two can't. And if you have a group of 3 people all together, and you have a science, an engineer, and a tactical officer, then when it comes time for those skill checks, you'll have extra people to help with all of it. So it can take a little bit of planning. Now, can you go in with a full group of nothing but tactical officers? Yeah, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. It's, for the most part, you can kind of get away with murder in this game. So now it's, tactical is obviously more DPS, engineers are more tanks, and your science officers are kind of more your healers. I put that in quotation marks. You can't really see me doing finger quotations. But kind of the way it goes. It just depends on how you set it up and things like that. But you can really do whatever you want, because I can I'm a tank engineer, right? But then I can choose here. So like I'm technically a tactical officer, but I'm taking 2 tactical officers and a science officer with me. And I could have, if I thought about it, I could have brought 3 more, and I could have brought an engineer also instead, So when you're playing by yourself, you bring your own bridge officers with you. So you kind of have your guys here. And then it's very in depth. Like there's a lot involved. And when people are like, oh, my character, but really your characters, your character, the bridge officers, your ships, your admiralty ships, your duty officers, like there's this whole thing. Like you're technically taking over the ship as your character, and your captain is just kind of like almost like it's like your character, but like your ship is your mount. Like it gets weird. You can have a lot of really weird stuff with it. So like, and obviously I got like support drones I'm throwing out. Like I'm throwing all kinds of crazy stuff. Like I have a crazy thing where I can have my ship like nuke people from orbit. Like it's some crazy stuff. So, but it's a really involved game, and I don't want people to get too overwhelmed, especially if you've never played it before. But it's a cool game. And if you like Star Trek, it's good. Now, I will say most of them are kind of set up. Most missions are kind of set up where you can play through them in about maybe 30 minutes to an hour. There's a few missions that drag on quite a bit longer than that. But most of them are kind of set up like episodes, like Star Trek. Like, you'll have the seasons where they're kind of, the overarching storyline. And then you'll have the episodes, which, are like your missions and stuff like that. And most of them are set up so that you can kind of do them in an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. Some of them are a little bit longer than that. It just depends on what you're trying to do. And then, like I said, there are a few of them that are just redonkulous, like just way too long. There's a couple of missions that I hate with a passion. But you have to do it because it's the only way to get some pieces of armor, specifically like a shield for your ship. It gives a really cool look to your ship, so you kind of want to have it. So it's just a mess. So this is the guy we're coming in here to try to evac. He's just standing down there not doing anything. Come here, bugs. So this is the ground combat. It's more of a, you can kind of, almost more like a WoW. It's a normal, you got a nice little dodge. You got to get off of me. Here, hold these. I can throw like landmines down and all kinds of crazy stuff. And depending on your character, some of it will be different. I just kind of started with this one because, well, it's Gamma Recruitment event. And they bounce through these different events. They've done the Gamma Recruitment a couple of times. Matter of fact, I can't remember if my original guy was a Gamma Recruit or not. It's been so long since I've played, to be perfectly honest. There you go. We call the old ship into... It's my favorite thing. Oh, I love it. And it makes no sense either, because I'm in the middle of a space station. If the ship actually did that, it would have just left a big hole in the middle of it. We'd all got stuck outside and dead. It'd been great. Come on, you crazy things. Alright, we're trying to get down here to the end of the hallway. So basically a lot of this stuff is just kind of run through. But, and I've said it before, this is, they said, I don't know how this is going to do. I'm just playing it because I wanted to play it. I figured I'd record it just to see how it goes. Victory is life.
I see you've taken the Admiral out of harm's way. I expected nothing less from one of our finest. I have a new task for you first. Make your way to the torpedo bay and set one of the torpedoes there to detonate. That will...
Alright, blow up the torpedoes. Got it. I thought I was reporting straightly to the founder. Why am I talking to her still? Don't kill my Polaron burst turret. So, and then like everything, your whole character, like all this stuff, your armor, your weapons, everything can all be changed. Like all this stuff up here, the modules and kits can all be changed. Like everything that you want to try to do with this character, you can play it pretty much the way you want to play it. There's universal consoles. There's like, there's some crazy configuration. And even if I get in here and look, oh wait, look, here's all of my minions, right? And my minions have the same thing on them. And then I can control which minions I take onto missions. I can have one set up specifically to do, some missions or different missions or whatever, depending on what I want to do. And I can control what they do, even so much so as to go into their ship. And when I go into the stations, I can choose like which weapons or which skills they have here. I can go do all this stuff and change all this stuff around. It's really, really in depth with the amount of customization and pretty much what you have to do. Down to your ship, whether you have, more weapons in the front, or in the back, or, whether you have one that is a little bit better at turn radius, or it's a little bit better at, if you want to make a beam boat and just sit in the middle of it and just see how many beams you can throw out, you can do that. If you want to do cannons and go fly around like a fighter jet, you can do that. It's crazy the amount of customization and really what you can really do. And nothing says you can't have a beam boat, push a couple of buttons, and then jump into a dual heavy cannon, assault craft, and bounce back and forth between the two, and have both ships active and ready and loaded to go. And then if you have, it's just the game really, it's really Burger King. You really get to have it your way. Which is, for the most part, especially in games like this, sometimes is incredibly difficult to get. But you're either going to put in an ridiculous amount of time to do that, or you're going to end up paying some money for it. Because, and the problem is that you can't just say, oh, you know, if you burn freaking, I think it's honestly, it's like 2 months time or something. And it depends, because you have to sell the Zen or buy the Zen in the open market, and it fluctuates. But the problem is by the time you did that, you need the dilithium to get other stuff. It's a mess. So, like I said before, I'll say again, if you're planning on buying or playing the game for free, what I would do is play till about level 40. Level 40, I would try to buy a ship out of the... well, actually, by the time you get level 40, if you're really enjoying the game, just buy a T6 ship. And I think most of those are set up now so that you could basically use them at level 10. Honestly, I can make a new character and within probably less than an hour being a T6 ship. And it's just kind of... They pull a bunch of stuff out of it. It is way overpowered. It's still definitely a T6 ship at that point. So it's definitely well overpowered. But what they do is they just kind of... And I think you've seen a couple of the screens where if I go in... Get off me. Somebody shoot him in the face. If I go in here and look like this thing where it's locked here. The ship doesn't have it. But you'll see some like ships, especially if you're really low level, they'll just have things basically locked out. And when you hit certain levels and you get certain ranks, it starts opening those consoles for you and the extra weapons. So that way, you're definitely overpowered. Like you feel overpowered because you'll end up with a lot of abilities you probably shouldn't have. And then you can use that once you get high enough level. It's a mess. But yeah, so I would probably go to level 30. By the time you hit level 40-ish, if you really are like, nope, I'm having fun. This is a great game. Then I would go ahead and jump on to the. This one is a T5U, so this is basically a T5 ship that's been upgraded to T6. So it's not as good as a T6 ship, but it will work, if that makes sense. So you can always just do a Jem'Luc and just be like, oh dude, I don't even need to do it. I've got a passable ship, but you'd always kind of be hanging behind.
It's been interesting.
And that's kind of this game is mostly a if you don't throw money at it, you're always kind of lagging behind.
You've done well, First. I believe we are going to work.
Let me go shoot at things. Oh, explodies. All right, let me get over here. I'll go shoot some more. But yeah, so it's just, and that's really the problem with this game. And I don't want to say it's free to play, because you can't. But it's not. It's not pay to win by the definition of pay to win. But it's only the definition, right? Because technically, anything that I can buy in this game, you can earn by playing the game. Technically. But you're so far behind that somebody that's paid is definitely going to be you until you're completely maxed out with everything. They're just going to get there faster. But you would eventually be able to max it all out. It's just you're going to probably be 6 months to a year behind them. And I don't know. I'm just saying, it may be less than that, but you're going to be a ways behind them.
Stop that ship!
I will assist you.
Yeah, well, hurt force is fixing to get hurt. Just stand back here and just shoot him. Where's that button at? Let's put that button. So that summons a friend in to come help. Oh, so we're immune. He threw up a shield on that side, so I can't hit him. And then my firing arc, because I'm using cannons, my firing arc is low. So if I actually hover over my weapons, you'll see how far in the front they cover. So I have to kind of keep them aligned. So, and he keeps turning this stupid shield at me. So I have some turrets in the back that basically have 360-degree arcs. But most of my weapons have like a 45-degree arc. Because the smaller your arc is, the more damage you cause. Yeah.
Another well-fought victory.
I live to serve the founders.
Continue to impress. And the founders want you to serve alongside the Alliance as part of their defensive forces. There are two viable factions to consider: the Federation and the Klingon Empire. It's indulgent, I know, but I think the final choice should be yours. Who shall it be?
All right, so right now we basically Starfleet explores stars, defends the Federation planets. Starfleet's right, dedicated, or the Klingon Defense Force represents the military might of the Klingon Empire. KDF officers served conquering new worlds, battling the Empire's enemies, and undertaking scientific exploratory missions that expand the Empire's reach. In return, you'll gain the glory of the Empire that a true warrior deserves. So, with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it. Oh, I don't think I can. It's not letting me out of here. I'll get out of here. Watch me. So I'm going to leave it here. If anybody has a one way or the other, whether you want me to join Starfleet or you'd like to see me join the Klingons, throw that down in the comments. If not, if I get however many answers we get, we'll count them up, and that's the answer we'll go with. If we don't have any answers, then I'll just make a decision. But with that, we will figure it out for the next episode, and we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Y'all be safe. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.